A woman recently asked me, what does it feel like when you connect with spirit? And I love that question because the answer has changed over time. In the beginning, it wasn't something like mystical or dramatic. I was just pulling tarot cards and I was just reading what the answers were in the book, honestly. And I was sometimes tuning in to what I felt or saw, but it wasn't anything unusual. When I went to go work in the Akashic Records, I was maybe getting a feeling, maybe a song was coming in my head, but it wasn't this big dramatic event that I thought might happen. I was noticing an answer or something that I would think of, but I just didn't trust or believe that it was anybody but me. But as time went on and I continued practicing with it, I did notice sometimes the ideas or the words that were coming through were not something that I use in everyday life. And so it kind of progressed from there. The energy, the answers, the tone, the rhythm started to feel a little bit different than me. And as I continued to work in the records, not only for me, but then I was doing trades with other people and listening to what their guides were saying for them. The other people would say, yeah, I can take that. That makes sense for me. That resonates. I would start to tune in to what I was feeling at that moment when they had said that that message landed for them. But the more I tuned into the records and sat with it, I would start to write certain words that, weren't words that I used in everyday life. Or I would get a song that I definitely hadn't been thinking of, or an image would come into my head. And I just kept note of that. And the more I went into the records, the more I felt this focused energy, this feeling within me. And so at that point, I wasn't speaking. It wasn't until a bit later that I got, it was actually in an exchange where somebody said, your guides want you to be talking because your pen is not keeping up with the words that are coming through. When I say the words are coming through, it just at that point felt like these thoughts were coming in my head. And as I was thinking it, I was writing it. And that's how that writing worked for me, automatic writing. And then I went to a retreat, a mediumship retreat in person where somebody said that they do that. They speak into their phone. I was like, you know what? I'm going to give that a try. And so I started there. And when I started to speak, it was very awkward at first. I just was trying to speak what I was like hearing, but like you just get thoughts. I was saying that, but I was sensing that certain words were feeling right or better than other words, or I was stuttering to get a certain word out, and I couldn't go on to the next thought until I got the word out in the way that felt right. And it was just this, when you're trying to think of the right word for a situation and you can't come up with it, and then you do, and you're like, oh, that feels so good. I got to say that. That's kind of the energy that I'm feeling when I'm speaking what spirit wants to share. Now, I was feeling a lot of energy in here. It just was this pressure and this energy, and I still feel that. And so when I'm now channeling, what I'm feeling is this just energy of these words just coming out. And I I laugh sometimes because sometimes I'm saying things and I don't even know what I'm saying until they're said. But it's that energy. It's just this energy within me that I feel strongest. Sometimes I get a lot when I say the right thing, when it's like I know that I've hit the mark. Then I feel like body chills or tingles in my body, like excitement, and it feels really good. Sometimes I feel touches. I might feel a touch on my shoulder, or on my head, or on my back. It's nothing scares me. It just knows that I'm connecting with spirit at that time. And so I do feel that energy. I feel a lot of times emotion. I might tune into someone's sadness or happiness, or the guides, even them feeling this energy of happiness coming through. And so that way I can share that that's the emotion that I'm feeling at that time. When I go deeper into the energy, I will feel a buzzing almost in my body. It's a really good feeling, and it just feels like I am energized or feeling the vibration of spirit. And often after spirit moves away, that energy will still linger, and I'll still feel that buzzing. It doesn't happen all the time. I wish it did because it's a really great feeling, but I do feel that from time to time. At times, very infrequently, I'll feel shifts in in temperature, like hot and cold, but that's usually when I'm doing healing. I will get very warm, or I'll feel a sensation in my hands, in my fingertips. And that's, not consistent, not all the time, but I sometimes do feel that. Sometimes I'm drawn to feeling like like a pain in my head or a heart, or I can't clear my throat. And that's just a way that I'm tuned in to know maybe this person has a headache, or maybe they have trouble speaking up, or maybe they have some back pain or something. I'm not somebody who is a medical intuitive. I don't go diagnosing things, but if I'm in a session, I may say to someone, I'm feeling this pressure in my head of some sort, and they may say, yeah, I get headaches, but definitely I do not predict the future. I am not doing medical intuitiveness. I just am calling out some sensation that I'm feeling, and sometimes that will be something someone can recognize. So the thing is to tune into what, if you're developing, to tune into what you're feeling one day, maybe keep track of it in a journal or something so that you can go back and say, oh yeah, I remember when it was working that way, because it will change. So just being open to connecting with spirit, whatever way feels right for you. And my biggest recommendation is to experiment and have fun with it. And don't let anybody tell you that it has to feel a certain way. Everybody has their own unique style, and it's just a matter of time till you find out what's yours. So if you'd like to share what your experience with spirit has been, what you felt, then please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And I hope to see you next time.